All right, now you're done with the understanding of the PMP exam. The next question is, how do I study for it? Because you've got Agile and Hybrid, and you've got Predictive. I want to talk about what you need to cover within the Agile and Hybrid area. Within Agile and Hybrid, you need to have a very solid understanding of the Agile Manifesto, and we're talking about the 4 values and the 12 principles. You really need to understand these well. You also should spend time studying the Agile Practice Guide. The Agile Practice Guide is a guide from the Project Management Institute that will complement your understanding of the manifesto and give you more details about Agile, especially from pages 50 to 55. You want to really hone in on PMI's interpretation of the practices of Agile. Now, when it comes to predictive, there's a little bit of misunderstanding. Should I not consider the 6th edition? Should I only look at the 7th? And the answer is to consider both at a sufficient level. So you want to consider the PMBOK Guide 6th edition for a general understanding of how the knowledge areas and process groups flow, as well as the 49 processes. And then you want to have in the 7th edition a very firm understanding of the principles. So if I was going to break these down, this will be more for the processes, right? This 6th edition would also be a good place to get the tools, the techniques, the process groups, and the knowledge areas. And for PMBOK7, this will be a good place for mindset. And I call it the hybrid PM mindset. Because what you're trying to do is combine things from the world of Agile that are useful, things from the world of traditional that are useful, put them together and form a mindset. And that mindset propels you to ace the exam. The next question I get is, Phil, how much time should I spend studying? What have other people done? What is the benchmark? The benchmark that I've seen for studying for this exam is anywhere from 100 hours to 200 hours, typical. Some people study less. Now, within this 100 hours, I want you to remember 35 hours are contact hours from the education that you do to qualify. So after your 35-hour course, if you put in roughly anywhere, it depends on the individual, I don't want to be prescriptive here, but between 65, because if you subtract, you get 65, so between 65 and 165, depending on experience, skill level, so on and so forth, it is doable. I've seen people who studied for 60 hours and they got certified. So it is doable, okay? Now, when you talk about how should I break down the hours spent here, I would say if you put in a good solid 2 hours into understanding your manifesto, a good solid 2 hours into understanding the mindset through the 12 principles, right? If you put in a good 2 hours understanding that, and if on top of that you build in another 5 hours to studying the Agile Practice Guide, that's a good foundation. Plus, the Scrum Guide, put in an hour to really hone in on the Scrum Guide, and then spend another 3 to 4 hours on questions, right, for the Agile piece, And also, you're going to have some crossover here from the 7th edition into what we consider to be hybrid. Actually, in one of my books, I have a breakdown of questions from the world of 7th that are more hybrid. And in our full-blown course, I have about 35 questions that are more of a hybrid nature, just to tackle from people, then another 35 from process, and about 30 from business. So if you're in our program, you want to take questions agile and hybrid, okay? Now, if you add those up, you got 5, 6, 10, 12, 14. That leaves a lot of studying to be done from here. From here, my recommendation is you want to spend, as a rule of thumb, for every knowledge area. I know it looks excessive, but you do need to do this to have a very good grasp of the content. I would say the rule of thumb is 2 hours for each knowledge area, with exceptions in integration and risk and cost, for example. So integration, risk, cost, these could be quite beastly, and you might find yourself spending upwards of 5 hours apiece on these. And when I say 5 hours, I'm saying reading the book, the PMBOK Guide 6th edition, where you can get some of this. I'm talking about taking quizzes, reading other materials, and understanding. And then the other pieces that you have of time could be just scanning through this PMBOK7. Just give yourself 3 to 4 hours to read the PMBOK 7th edition, okay? Then when you get done with all of this, my final recommendation is for you to take mock exams ad nauseum. You want to take at least 3 mock exams, which are 180 questions, 180 questions, and 130 questions, okay? I need you to take those exams to get good with your studying. So for those of you that are in my classes on the Praizion platform, you got all of those there. For those of you that are in the classes on the Udemy platform, you've got a very powerful 180 question quiz, Agile Hybrid Predictive, at the end. You've also got quizzes for every single one of the outline tasks, which takes us to our next point. After you have done all this, do not forget to weave it together with the PMP Exam Content Outline. I would advise you jumping onto the course that I've put out there. You can find it on Udemy. It's just $49.99. I'll try to put a link below. But that course wraps everything up in 7.5 hours. So it's called PMP Exam Immersion. And it's based on the book, PMP Exam Immersion. If you add all of these up, you're going to get into the neighborhood going towards 30-something, right? 5, 6, 10, 12, 15, 17, 22, 24, 31 and a half. And that still leaves you to do the audio listening. So for those of you that were not aware, you can listen to audio for free on the website pmradio.org. pmradio.org. Go to pmradio.org and you'll be able to listen to thousands of minutes of content that I've put together to help those studying for the exam, and it's free. Okay, so this would be my idea of how you can begin rolling along. Just schedule these into your calendar, right? Whether it's 5 hours could be a weekend, the 3 hours could be a long evening, the 1 hour could be like a daily thing. But build these in, and before you know it, you will be a PMP. You'll be done. You'll be dusted. You won't have to do this ever again. The certification will be yours. No one can take it away from you. I've been certified since 2005. It's going on 18 years now. No one can take away my PMP. Go get yours. Put in the time, put in the effort, and you'll be laughing all the way to the bank. Okay? I also advise you to not stop at PMP. Be the top 2% of PMPs, which means constantly learning and going to that next level in leadership. So for those of you who might be PMPs and watching this, I encourage you to go to the next level in leadership by studying leadership, because everything rises and falls on leadership. You might want to check out projectleadershipinstitute.com. Okay? For those of you that are PMPs, I suggest checking it out because it might be what will take you to that next level. Learning leadership, learning great soft skills, becoming a speaker, and becoming more confident in your ability to communicate. It's called Project Leadership Institute.com. This is where we take project managers to the next level to be confident in and of themselves, to goal set, and to get to that next level in their career. All right, so if this is of interest to you, go on down to the site. If you have any questions, let me know. But for those of you who are taking the PMP, we have our work cut out for us, and I wish you all the best as you study. You take care, and bye for now.